as I was praying this week, just asking the Lord what He wants to do, I kind of been overwhelmed with this prayer of just, Lord, let my heart burn for you. So this morning, I'm going to invite you guys to come forward, and just as an act of faith, that we would just come forward and let's make that our prayer as a church. Lord, let our hearts burn for you. And maybe you felt like you used to be closer to the Lord. This is no guilt, no shame. It's just an invitation to ask Him again to breathe on your heart. Let my heart burn for you. Let my heart burn. Let it burn for you. Let my let my heart burn. Let it burn for you. Let my heart burn. Let it burn for you. Let my all the saints and angels, we bow before your throne. And all the elders cast their crowns before the Lamb of God, and sing, worthy of it all. From you are all things, and to you are all things. You deserve the glory. incense arise. Day and night, night and day, let incense arise. Day and night, night and day, let incense arise. Day and night, night and day, let incense arise. Day and night, night and day, let incense arise. Day and night, night and day, let incense arise. Day and night, night and day, let incense arise. Day and night, night and day, we exalt thee. We You're worthy of it all. You're so worthy of it all. For from you are all things, and to you are all things. You deserve the glory. Let my heart burn for you. Let my heart burn for you. Sing it again, church. Make it your prayer. Let my heart burn for you. Let my heart burn for you. Yes. Let my heart burn. For from you are all things, and to you are all things. You deserve the glory. Great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. Oh, we'll see how great is our God. Splendor, the splendor. Clothed in majesty, let all the earth rejoice, all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, when darkness tries to hide, and trembles at his voice. Trembles at his voice. How great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God? Oh, we'll see how great is our God. Age to age he stays. Time is in his hands, beginning and the end. The Godhead three in one, Father, Spirit, Son, the Lion and Lamb, the Lion and Lamb. Great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. I will see how great is our God. How Our God, sing with me, how great is our God. All will see how great is our God. One more time. How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. All will see how great is our God.
Good morning. Welcome to Water's Edge. I'm doing the 5-minute pre-prayer thing. Our habit is to break into groups and pray. We're going to do that. But I want to invite you guys into something. I'm going to read a book. It's a kid's book. Do you ever read a kid's book and it pierces your heart? That happens to me sometimes, I think more and more as I get older. But I want to invite you guys to sit up here, and I'm going to read this book. So anyone who wants to come up closer so you can see the pictures, come on up. I can scoot back if people want to sit on the floor. Everyone's invited. Okay, I'll try to hold it high. This is called The Story of the Great Feast. Jesus often spent time with ordinary people, but sometimes he was invited to the homes of the rich rulers. He told them about God's kingdom, too. One day, he was invited to a meal at a rich man's house. While they were all eating, Jesus told them this story. There was once a rich man who was planning to give a great feast. He had made a long list of all the people he was going to invite. His servants worked hard preparing for the feast. They cooked the food and bought the wine. They decided where each person should sit around the enormous table, and they decorated the room with flowers. When all the work was finished, the rich man was pleased with what they had done. Now you can take a message to all the invited guests, he told them. The message said, "Come to the great feast now. Everything is ready." The servants thought that each guest would be waiting in his best clothes, ready to come, but they had a surprise. One of the servants arrived at the home of the first invited guest. The master says, "Come to the great feast now. Everything is ready," the servant told him. "Oh, but I can't come now," said the first invited guest. "I've just bought a new field, and I must go see what it is like." "That's a poor excuse," thought the servant. "Imagine buying a field without looking at it first." And he went away. The servant arrived at the house of the second invited guest. The master says, "Come to the great feast now. Everything is ready," the servant told him. "Oh, but I can't come now," said the second invited guest. "I just bought 5 pairs of oxen for my farm work. I must go and try them out." "That's a poor excuse," thought the servant. "Imagine buying 5 pairs of oxen for farm work without trying them out first." And he went away. The servant arrived at the home of the third invited guest. The master says, "Come to the great feast now. Everything is ready," the servant told him. "Oh, but I can't come now," said the third invited guest. "I've just got married, so I can't go to a feast." "That's a poor excuse," thought the servant. "Imagine not going to a feast just because you have a wife." And he went away. When the servant had been to the homes of all the guests on the list, he went back to his master. The rich man was standing at the door of his beautiful home. He was waiting to welcome all his guests. "Where are they all?" he asked his servant. The servant explained that when he had told them the great feast was ready, they had all made excuses not to come. The rich man was furious. "What rude, bad-mannered people," he shouted. He went inside and looked at the feast. The tables were laid, and the food smelled delicious. "I know what I'll do," he said. "Go out into the town," he said to the servant. "Look along every street and alley, and bring back the poor and the blind and the crippled. Tell them to come to my feast." The servant rushed out into the town and did as he was told. Soon the road to the house was full of poor, sick people coming from the town to the feast. "That's not enough," said the rich man to his servant. "There's room for more. Hurry out into the country lanes. Tell everyone you find there to come to my feast." So the servant ran out into the country lanes and did as he was told. The people there could hardly believe their ears. They hurried to the feast. Jesus said, "In the end, the feast was full of people who really wanted to be there. Those who couldn't be bothered to come did not have a chance to change their minds. That is how it is in God's kingdom." He said to the people sitting at the table with him, "When God invites you to belong to him, be sure you say yes." So that's what I got. I think sometimes we're the poor, blind, and crippled. And I think sometimes we're the complacent and comfortable people. And so, which ones are we today? Lord, we just invite you to speak to our hearts, and we thank you that we are invited to your great feast. Would we not miss an opportunity to eat at your table? Amen.
Youth retreat, February 20th through the 22nd. Talk to Jake, and then sign your child up. Go. If you're moved to help the Costa Rica missions team, you can always designate that in the memo of your giving anytime. If you're moved to give to Wells Within Reach, you can put that in your memo. That's going to be for wells in Uganda to give some fresh water there. That's by December 21st. I want to thank you as a church for your generosity and blessing some of the local kids who could use a Christmas gift or blessing. If you're here today and you're like, my spiritual gift, I'm pretty sure, is shopping. That's not me. Sorry, my family. But if you are, Mara could use help. She's got all of them covered, but she could use help actually shopping for some of them. So if you're like, I would love to shop for some of our local kids, come talk to me. I'll put you in contact with Mara, and you guys can go do that. Christmas Eve service. Let me know if you're interested in leading by reading. So what we're going to do, just like last year, a lot of years, is we'll bring out the piano, we'll sing some worship songs, some worship Christmas songs, and in between, we'll go through the birth of Jesus. We're just going to read it from start to finish, okay? And so that takes us, about half an hour, right? And then we spend some time just hanging out with each other afterwards. So it's not a crazy long service. It's a service that we pause, we reflect, and we just let the Bible speak for itself as it go through Jesus' story. So if you're like, hey, I would love to read a portion of that, come talk to me. I'll start probably this next week putting that together, okay? We have been going through the Sermon on the Mount here for a little while, and I was reminded by somebody I would consider one of our church leaders about something that was said by somebody else that I'd consider a church leader, about a statement that was said about a month and a half ago. It was said, "What is the point of me going to the Bethel conference in California unless I'm willing to respond to him with my life when God speaks to me?" Right? What's the point of being invited to a feast if you're not going to eat? It's a different way to say it, right? What's the point of going to church if you're not going to actually respond with your life if he says something to you? What's the point of going to church if you don't actually believe he will speak to you, right? Is it because Pastor Benny's got some really awesome words? Ideally, that's not it, right? Now, ideally, God speaks through me to you, or maybe it's in your prayer group. Somebody speaks to you that shares the heart of God. Or maybe it's during worship and you connect with him and you're like, may my heart burn for you, right? Like, I don't know, but if you're not going to get into the presence of the one who lays out the feast, what are we doing, right? So that throws me into Matthew 6 where we're at. No one can serve two masters. Either you're going to hate the one and love the other, or you'll be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. Really, it's mammon, which is money and material possessions. But how did we get here? I want to talk through the Sermon on the Mount. This is going to be a little bit of a review for some of you, but I've tried to rephrase it in a different way, and I'm going to keep rephrasing the Sermon on the Mount over and over and over again because I want it to go deeper and deeper and deeper inside of us, right? Like, I want us to see it through layer after layer after layer as we ask ourselves, like, man, he's not just inviting us to be like, that's a really cool sermon. He's asking us, do we have the courage to embody it? Right? Okay, so let's start it off. Beatitudes, he starts off with the first step of walking in divine fullness. The divine fullness that he has designed for you is to recognize that anything built on your strength, your strategies, your reputation, your control is going to be empty. Blessed are you if you're hungry. You're more likely to show up for the feast. Salt and light is what he goes into next. When you're stripped of everything, you find that he's designed you with an identity as made up of salt, something that preserves truth, and light, something that exposes truth. Right? And then from there, he goes into the law being fulfilled and not abolished. Right? It's realizing he made you with good intent, with good purposes. An identity made up of salt and light, and you're invited to move from a paradigm of living by an external law, which would look like the religious. He kept saying, hey, your religion has to be stronger than that of the Pharisees. Why? Because it's not a religion, it's a relationship. He's trying to take you from the external, obedience, sacrifice, all those things, to an internal alignment with your Father's heart, which is built on relationship. Then it's the fire and the draw stage. As he lights a fire in your inside, your junk comes to the surface. And he talks about, hey, it's not just about murder, it's about anger. It's not just about adultery, it's about lust. He's saying it's not just your external actions that we're trying to get better at. It's not about a matter of being more disciplined with your outsides. It's about a transformation on your inside, right? And he's saying, listen, as that stuff comes to the surface, you've got two options. Are you going to suppress it? Are you going to walk away? Are you going to say, whoa, I got close to God, I got close to his presence, the fire is hot, my stuff's coming to the surface, I got to go over here because the other people at church are going to see that I've got junk in my life. And like, newsflash to you, we're all human, right? Me and Angie, we can tell you we've got junk, right? We're human people, right? There's something where the stuff comes to the surface, and you've got an option. Am I going to suppress it? And the only way to suppress it is to walk away from the flame. Walk away from the heat. Or are you going to sit in the fire long enough for him to take the stuff that comes to the surface and skim it off over and over again, right? As silver in a silversmith. And when is a silversmith done? When you can see the reflection, right? And so he's going to sit there and say, okay, more stuff came up. I'm not surprised. You're sitting in my fire. We shouldn't be shocked that humans do human things. But the question is, when the human things come up, are we going to deal with them, or are we going to try to suppress them and walk away? Are we going to let the healer do his work and heal us? Surgery sometimes ends up becoming public, but do you care more about people realizing that you're human, that you've got a cancer, that you've got something inside that needs to be dealt with? Or do you care more about the surgeon cutting it out? Sometimes he's going to offend our minds to reveal where our heart is with it, right? So then he goes and he says, hey, it's about that heart. It's about that secret place. Don't be an actor, right? It's not about, hey, you know what? I can say the most verbose prayer that everybody's going to be excited with. It's not about this magical incantation of, if I say these verses in this order, God has to respond for me. And who's still in charge if I'm trying to say the things that he responds for me? And there's a good question. Who's your audience, right? Who is your faith, your identity? Is it found in the affirmation of the audience of the people around you or the audience of one? He's saying, make sure that your faith, your walk, your life is about you and him, whether people see it or not. Now, are people supposed to see it? Yeah, you're supposed to be a city on a hill. You're supposed to be a light. But the thing is, if it's about an inward intimacy with him, you're not doing it for others. And if you're not doing it for others, when people see you, they're going to glorify your Father. Because they're going to see the one who's shining through you, not the light that I'm trying to emit on my own. Does that make sense? Is your drive external? Is it internal? If you're not sure, check how you give, how you fast, how you pray. Or maybe start with if you give, if you fast, or if you pray. Then he goes to the next one. He says, hey, where's your treasure? Your eyes, your pursuit, right? Where's your treasure? Is it in the pursuit on desires for me on this earth? Is it a pursuit of treasure for me in heaven? Is it about me on this side of earth? Is it about me on that side? Or we talked about how that to chiasm, it goes all the way back of loving your enemies. Is it the fact that on your insides you align with your Father's heart in a way that your Father's heart is about restoration of the family? And if your heart is about the restoration of the family, you're willing to take, oh man, you're going to give me judgment, I'm going to give you mercy. You're going to give me anger, I'm going to give you grace, right? I'm going to try to love you for the hate that you're bringing towards me. Like, it's one of those things where you can't do that just strictly out of obedience. You can only do that if there's a transformation inside of you that says, I align with my Father. And I can see his image in you whether you see it or not. And when you see that in them, you invite them to become the one that God has designed you for in the first place. Is that an easy thing? No. But if you actually treasure restoration in the family like he does, it'll move you. Man, it's going to cost a lot. It's not easy, right? But if it's just about getting things here or there, still missing the point. Then he says, what about your eyes? We talked about this last week. Ayin tova and ayin ra'ah, a good eye and a bad eye, right? And you've got a bad eye that they would consider also a double eye or being double-minded, and a good eye is being single-minded, right? And if you have a bad eye, there's never going to be enough, right? There's a stinginess, there's a comparison, there's a greed, there's a dissatisfaction, there's the belief that, you know what? My wife's never going to be enough. My husband's not going to be enough. My job's not going to be enough. My wealth is not going to be enough. My house is not big enough. You know what? I'm not getting enough accolades. I'm not getting enough affirmation. You know what? Nobody sees me. Nobody hears me. Nobody knows me. You know what? Everything in my life is going to fall apart. Even the things that I hope for, the desires, everything, it's not going to be enough. It's going to fall apart. Always does. Always will. It's a bad eye. Right? Ultimately, it comes from a belief that God doesn't have enough. Or he does have enough and he doesn't care enough about you to give you what you need. Those are the options. Or you could have a good eye. Right? What does a good eye look like? A single eye. If you have a good eye, I don't know why my computer and that computer up there aren't working, but the indents should be better. Give me grace. You got a good eye. There's always more than enough. You're going to give yourself grace. You're going to give others mercy. You're going to extend forgiveness. You're going to love people. You're going to have kindness towards your enemy, right? There's something inside you that says, you know what? God has got more than enough for me, and because he's got more than enough for me, he also has more than enough for you, right? If you're talking about like as Israel is in the desert, it would be like, oh man, it won't take me long to collect my manna. Let me help you collect yours, right? Or you got that slave mindset that's like, I got to get mine before you get yours, right? It's the same thing, a good eye versus a bad eye, right? In a good eye, your spouse is created in the image of God. Your kids are a delight and a good gift. The world has enough resources to go around. You're not anxious about all the things that could happen. You're not afraid by what the media tells you to be afraid. You were born with what you needed to magnify him. You know, it's like Moses. Hey, God, I got a heavy tongue. And God's like, bro, I can use it. You got what you need. I can be magnified through that. It's fine. And if I need to change things, I'm the one that makes tongues, right? Do you know that he's going to provide even in the tough seasons? It's a great question, right? You've got a good father who likes to give good gifts. He knows what you need before you ask. Do you believe that he enjoys giving you good gifts? Like, it brings him pleasure to give you good gifts. Those of you that are moms and dads that, like, you know what your kid really wants for Christmas, and, like, you're excited to see their face when they actually get it some of the time. Kids, you don't always get what you want. Don't always get. I'm just kidding. But those times, right, parents, where, like, your gift is seeing your child light up with receiving a good gift. How much more him? How much more does he delight in being like, they have been wanting this for so long. I can't wait to give it. Now, is it because our kids earn them? Usually not, right? Is it because we earn it? Oh, we've been faithful so many days, finally, now I can give him this really good gift. Usually not. His goodness is like overwhelming because he's got a good heart towards us. He's got a good eye towards us, right? That's a good question. Do you think that God has a good eye or a bad eye? Like, take a look at your life, and do you believe that he is like, I can't wait to pour out my abundance on people? Or do you feel like, man, you know what? I gave him a little bit, and like, I can't wait to like smack them around because they're not getting in line. I don't know. Which one? Heads up, just so you know, the God of the Old Testament is the same as the God of the New Testament. He's got goodness. He's got grace. He's got a lot of patience. Thankful for his patience. All right, so you've got, where's your treasure? Where's your eyes? Where's your pursuit is the next thing that he starts talking about. Where's your pursuit? No one can serve two masters. Either you're going to hate the one and love the other, or you're going to be devoted to the one and despise the other. You can't serve both God and money, mammon. No one can serve two masters. There's a lot of ways you can go with this. A lot of rabbit trails. I want to think first, though, like there's these stories in the Bible that are like littered with this thing where they're in the tension of it. I think one of the ones that like is really clear for me is, again, when the Israelites are in the desert. They had just left Egypt. And did they leave empty-handed? No, they had ridiculous amounts of wealth that they took with them. They plundered Egypt. The like wealthiest nation in the world at the time, they plundered it. They asked their neighbor, hey, you want to give me $5? They're like, here's my gold. Right? Plundered the nation. And they go straight out into the desert. Now, God took them out of Egypt, but God is now trying to like take the Egypt out of them. And they're in the desert and they're sitting there. What can you spend all the gold on in the world when all you got is cactus? Which I don't think they have cactus that part of the world. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just dry dirt. You can't even buy some water. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 days in, you're like, oh, we're going to die. Thirsty. He gives you a drink, and you're like, now that my mouth isn't parched, I can say that I'm hungry. Wish I had some food. You know what was really good? That Egypt place where they used to beat us in order to feed us, that was awesome. And they took that. Like, you think about it. Can't serve God and money. You've got all of the gold and all of the riches, and you're in a desert. And he's like, but will you trust that I'll provide for you today? And then I'll provide for you again tomorrow. And then another day, and another day. Clothes, they don't wear out. Day after day after day for 40 years. For 40 years, and after 40 years, you still had people with a bad eye that were longing for Egypt. Longing for a place where they could spend their money. Longing for a place that they could make home. Longing for a place that felt comfortable, even in slavery. Why was it comfortable? Because it was familiar. They longed for the familiar. And it's fascinating to me because they had two options. You've got all of this gold, all of this wealth in the middle of the desert, and you had two options, and there were two options in front of them. Moses is up on a mountain in the presence of God, and the people are hearing God's voice. Hearing his voice. They're at the foot of the mountain, and they're like, whoa, it is wild up there. There's a storm up there in the presence of God. I don't know you know what? You know what would be good if we did with all of this gold? We should go make a spot for the presence of God. Let's adorn a place for him. Nope, actually, you know what? Take that back. Let's make a golden calf and worship that. Let's make something with our own hands that we can worship. Really, it's the question for them is the same question for us. Is he our Lord? Or are we trying to make ourselves Lord by putting something in our control to worship? Do we care more about the kingdom of heaven, or do we care more about the empire of Benny? Right? Two options. Do we care more about the empire that we're building, or do we care more about the kingdom of heaven? Tell you what, if you care about the empire that you're building, you're going to miss the feast. When the king that's there said, I got a huge feast for you, it's awesome. You're going to be like, sorry, listen, I'm too busy building my thing. I got a field, I got some plow horses. I'm going to have some vegetables in the ground, and then I'm going to be able to sell them, make more money. I got an expansion I got to build on the back of my house. I got all these plans I got to do for me. I gotta give a tithe, I gotta give a 10% of that stuff. All of me giving that 10% is just slowing down my kingdom. Right? Or the flip side is being like, oh man, what can I build of the kingdom? If God is in it, God, can I build an expansion on the house? Can I help prepare some food to be able to give to those that are in need? Can I be one of those servants in the house that can I just make some food for those that are hungry and thirsty for you? You know, there's something that shifts when you're like, what am I building? Am I building my 401k? Am I building my house? Am I building my reputation? Am I building my skill set? Am I building me? Am I building for me? Am I going to feel more comfortable if I've got more stuff? Am I going to feel more secure if I've got more stuff? That's a huge challenge, right? You've got people in the Bible like Job. Job literally is the greatest man in the East. Greatest man in the East. Has everything taken away from him except for his life and his wife. The wife was like, hey, why don't you just curse God and die? Not super encouraging, right? Again, she lost everything too, except for she had to take care of him. So let's have a little grace for her, I suppose. If his confidence was that I have done the right thing, so God has blessed me, then you wrestle with what happens when I don't feel blessed, right? Now, the truth is his heart was good. His heart was righteous. His heart was at a spot where it wanted to burn for him. Now, God had to take all this stuff out, and then when he was empty, he came into the what? The presence of God. When he came into the presence of God, everything shifted. And he was good before God doubled his blessings. He had nothing, and he was still in a right alignment with him. He was still in a spot where instead of external religious obedience, sacrifice, you know what? I got to sacrifice for my kids just in case they might have sinned. Instead of doing all of the external acts, there was an internal transformation when he met with the presence of God. And And when he met with the presence of God with the internal transformation, it went from an external, I'm going to sacrifice in order to have my sins covered, to God said to his friends, I want you to sacrifice in front of him. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Job just talk to me. And when Job talks to me, as a friend does, I'm going to forgive your sin on his behalf. Why? Because he's trying to transform him from a man that's by sacrifice to a man that's by presence. Right? It goes from a religion to a relationship. It's the same thing of this. You're going through this process that's going through the chiasm of the Sermon on the Mount. And he's like, you have to let go of the religiosity, the acting, the worship, the external, everything that's on the outside that looks great for people. And you're invited to the quiet place on the inside to let him transform you. Let him heal the things that are not great. Why? So that you can look like your Father. So you can have a heart like your Father. So you can reflect your Father. You know what? Yeah, the world sees the fire that you're in. But will you hear his voice and respond? What's the point? What's the point? Right? Going all the way back to that question. What's the point of me going unless I'm willing to respond to him when he speaks? Unless I'm willing to respond when he moves me? Unless I'm willing to respond when he invites me to something that's good? Right? There's so many stories. Tower of Babel, what are they trying to do? They're trying to make their name great. Trying to make their name great among the nations. They're trying to build their own empire. They're trying to make their own name awesome. And on the heels of it, you've got Abram, who is like, I'm willing to let my name die out in order to honor my brother and my niece. I'm willing to cut off my family line in order to honor and love somebody else. And God's like, I can build a kingdom off of that kind of personality. And it's like contrasting stories, one after another. And yet, Abram has to go through his own transformations too, right? You've got Ishmael where he's like, oh, God, I see what you're doing. Let me do it on my own strength. And on your own strength, you get a son that's known for his own strength, Ishmael. And then he's like, all right, back off. I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. I thought I could do and finish what you started. He that started a good work in you is faithful to finish it. It's not he that started in you has given you the baton for you to finish it, right? And so he's saying, listen, I've got this good thing. And he's like, okay, I'm sorry. Let me back off. Oh, a child of promise, Isaac. Oh, okay. So it's not by my strength. It's by his Spirit. It's by faith, right? It's by faith, not by sight. And a lot of times we get stuck in that. You've got Eve, when she has Cain, says, I acquired a man named Cain. I acquired. I've got this man. It's mine. And the very first thing he does, not the very first, probably took him some years, but he ends up taking out the competition. Abel kills the image of God. It's our first murder. Started with anger, right? You have some of these things where you have this wrestle of strength stories and walking by spirit stories. You've got David who walks by spirit for quite a long time, and then he gets to the spot and he falls by his strength. And it depends on which passage you're reading, right? So you got 1st and 2nd Kings, that's like in real time. And what's real time? The strength story where he falls? It's Bathsheba. Hundreds of years later, when they're like looking back on it in 2020, and they're like, you know what? He really started struggling with his strength. It wasn't Bathsheba. We're not even going to talk about Bathsheba in 1st and 2nd Chronicles. It's because it's when he started counting his own men. When he put his strength of his armies in himself instead of the leader of the armies. Right? Even those that are in the Bible that are like, man, we look up to them. Like, they did awesome. They're like heroes of the faith. Still had to go through transformation. So we shouldn't be alarmed when we also have to go through transformation. We shouldn't be alarmed when, like, humans do human things. We shouldn't be alarmed when, like, God brings our stuff to the surface. Again, the question is, are we going to try to suppress it, or are we going to say, may my heart burn for you. May you burn off the chaff. It's wild to me. The people in the desert, the presence of God, Almighty God, their creator, was in the camp. Where in the camp? The very center of it. Like, God's presence is in the center of the camp for 40 years. He's feeding them, he's providing for them, he's taking care of them, he's protecting them. Every day, every night. You know what? It's cold in the middle of a desert at night. Guess what? I'll give you a fire to keep you warm. It's warm in the middle of the desert in the day. Guess what? I'll give you a cloud by day. I'll cool you off. Everything is like drawing them to the center of his presence. And still 40 years later, you still got people that are dying off dreaming of Egypt. Don't know about you, but I'm at a spot where it's like, I don't want our church. I don't want the next generation. I don't want me. I don't want my family to be longing for things that don't satisfy. I don't want us to be at a spot where he's in the presence, like he's here, and we're longing for whatever doesn't satisfy out there. Like, I want for us to be drawn to the feast. I want us to say yes to the feast. And I want to be okay when we're hungry. We're blessed when we're hungry because we're more likely to go eat of his food. A lot of times we're hungry, but maybe the better question is, what do we feed ourselves with? Sometimes God's tests look like Job, where he strips everything away to reveal what's underneath, bring it to the surface. That's a hard test to walk through. Maybe as equally hard and probably less talked about is when he blesses you so much with an abundance. How do you respond? What do you invest in? Do you feel like you have more security when he gives you more? Or are you still thankful that he's going to provide day by day whatever it is? Right? The reason why I say that is I am convinced that he's going to pour out goodness on this body. I think he's going to pour out an abundance. I think he's going to open up storehouses in heaven for us. Is that me saying wealth and prosperity gospel and all that other stuff, and that, like, you guys are special if you come to this church because God's going to bless you? It's not my heart. It's not my intention. I'm just trying to tell you what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is that he wants to pour out in abundance. It might be wealth. It might be grace. It might be peace. It might be forgiveness. It might be opportunities to be kind to people that, like, aren't kind to us. It might be like all the things in the Beatitudes where it's like you have an abundance of opportunities to give good when people give you bad. So don't be like, yeah, I've got it. Like Benny said, we're going to get rich. Where your treasure is, right? Where's your treasure? If it's aligned with him, I think that he's trying to align our hearts with him in a way that he wants to pour out goodness on us. And I'm going to say, when he does, the question is, what are we going to invest it in? Are we going to invest it in our empire? Are we going to invest it in his kingdom? Are we going to pour out extravagantly on others and welcome them to the feast? Or are we going to say, if I don't invite my neighbor, I get his plate at the table? Right? He's got more than enough food. The master at the table is like, go invite everybody. There's not enough, go invite more. God has a good eye. God has goodness for us. I believe it. Some reflections. Am I building my foundation on my strength or on his goodness? Two foundations, almost like this is a whisper of another passage to come about building a house on different foundations. Two, when everything is stripped away, do I believe he created me out of light or out of darkness? Am I going to preserve the truth or let it be trampled? Going back to the salt and the light. At my core, am I living a paradigm of religion, external law, or relationship, internal Father's heart, his love? 4, do I care more about suppressing my junk so that others don't see it, or letting the healer heal it? 5, is the audience that I care about in life actually God, or is it others? I don't know where 6 went, so I'm going to jump to 7. Is my treasure built on gaining stuff for me or restoring people to him? 8, do I have a good eye, a bad eye? Do I have double vision? Do I have the courage to ask him to gouge out my bad eye if it's bad, so I can have a single focus, which would be good? 9, who is the Lord of my life? Am I building an empire or a kingdom? Am I lifting my name up or his name up? Am I moved by money or am I moved by his presence? Man, every time that they moved in the desert, they moved because his presence moved. 10, what's the point of coming today unless you're willing to respond to him when he speaks? Heavenly Father, I just ask that as we spend some time in worship, God, that you would quiet our hearts to a place where we can hear you. God, we acknowledge that the thing that actually shifts in us, that actually transforms us, is when we come into your presence and when we hear your words spoken over us. So God, I ask that you would grant us the ability to be aware of your presence in the room today. God, I ask that you would give us ears to hear your words to us today. God, I ask that you'd give us the courage to respond to you and what you say over us today. God, I ask that you would give us the courage to be able to believe what you say about us, that it's true. God, I ask that you would help us preserve that truth, that you would help us expose the truth, and that the truth that we expose is your goodness. God, that we expose your light in our lives and not just the darkness that we bring to the table. God, we ask that you would give us a heart that burns for you. God, I ask that you would pour out your abundance on this church, that we may be a blessing to our spouses, to our children, to our parents, to our neighbors, to our co-workers. God, help us steward your blessings well, not because we've earned it, but just because we want to multiply and magnify your blessings to the world around us. Help us align our hearts with your heart. May we treasure the things that you treasure. Help us to know your goodness today.
Benny, I like what you said about the invitation to presence. And you were talking about Egypt in the desert. They had an invitation to come up the mountain and to see God face to face. But they said, it's too scary, Moses. You go. You go before God, and we'll follow you. And I think it's really easy to follow somebody else who's following Jesus instead of going and building that relationship. So this morning, as we get ready to worship again, I invite you to the front to just come into the presence and just stand before him. It's about presence, not religion. How he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us so. And oh, how he loves us. you love me. Jesus, you love me. Oh, how you love. Yeah, you love us. Oh, how you love us. Oh, how you love us. Oh, how you love. Won't you dance with me, oh lover of my soul?
shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, thorns will sing. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these thorns will sing. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. Pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. Pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. Good, good Father, it's who you are, it's who you are, it's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am, it's who I am, it's who I am. You're good, good Father, it's who you are, it's who you are, it's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am, it's who I am, it's who I am. You're good, good Father, it's who you are, it's who you are, it's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am, it's who I am, it's who I Oh, I've heard 1,000 stories of what they think you're like, but I've heard the tender whispers of love in the dead of night, and they tell me that you're pleased and that I'm never alone. You're good, Father, to you are, to you are, to you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am, it's who I am, it's who I am. I've seen many searching for answers far and wide, but I know we're all searching for answers. Only you provide, 'cause you know just what we need before we can say a word. Good, good Father, who you are, it's who you are, it's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am, it's who I am, it's who I am. You're good, good Father. It's who you are, it's who you are, it's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am, it's who I am, it's who I am. Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who you are. It's who I am. It's who I am. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're my good, good Father. That's who you are. That's who you are. That's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I